Hello, hello, hello. I'm Bike Again, your main, the real Bill Real. What I like to do is I like to play a clip for you from ABC News, and that proves my point that the media is doing their best to spin this story to create more racial tension. Our society is brainless. And the overwhelming impression that I got from this clip is that wicked people oppose judgment. Let's go.
Dramatic moment for America when the jury in the George Zimmerman trial finally delivered a verdict, not guilty, adding fuel to a fire of racial tensions flaring across the country. But what was it like for the jurors themselves? Tonight, one woman comes forward to tell us what happened on the other side of those closed doors. ABC's Robin Roberts sat down for an exclusive interview with a woman who felt the weight of the world on her shoulders.
We, the jury, find George Zimmerman not guilty.
The not guilty verdict that set George Zimmerman free in the shooting death of 17-year-old Trayvon Martin rattled the nation, with many Americans questioning the jury's decision and wanting to ask the jurors a very tough question. Some people have said George Zimmerman got away with murder. How do you respond to those people who say that?
George Zimmerman got away with murder. But you can't get away from God.
All right. Now, this is the reason why I didn't want to have an all-female jury, and this is the reason why she should have never been a juror, because she's going to go on to say in the next couple of minutes, how she's apologizing for using her noodle, and, it was just so wrong of how, she's feeling now that she let everybody down and whatnot. And she is what is wrong in America. She is a product of the dumbing down, the decades and decades of TV watching and bad foods and fluoride. This is what happens to you. You become a numbskull and you don't use your brain. But let's let her continue to tell you. And I just want to let you know she's a plant. Her job is to create more racial tension. And that's why she's saying everything that she's saying. Okay? But let's go.
Juror B29, Maddie, came forward today in an ABC News exclusive interview.
Hold on. Now, I just want to point something out. Liars need lawyers. Remember that. Who do you see on TV with a lawyer? Sabrina and Tracy. Who do you see with a lawyer? This lady here, Maddie, a mother of eight. Okay? So, I just want to point this out to you, okay? If you're just telling the truth, why do you need to have an attorney with you? But that's a whole nother video, but let's go.
She said it wasn't an easy decision.
It's hard for me to sleep. It's hard for me to eat.
Are you serious, lady? It's hard for you to eat and sleep because you had to do right? Because you had to pass judgment on a thug and say George was justified in blowing him away? That's what troubles you? This is the problem with a society. Wicked people. This woman is wicked. She's telling you she's wicked. She's coming out saying, I wanted to come in with full emotion. I wanted it to be about race. I wanted it to be about, he shouldn't have shot that boy. I don't want to know any facts. It's ridiculous. This is the problem. Let's go.
You haven't asked for money. You haven't asked for a book deal. You haven't asked for anything other than a forum to be able to tell your story.
Yeah.
All right. Now, that's total bullcrap. Because what she's gonna say something right here that lets you know she's wicked and she's evil. She's gonna say, money doesn't matter to me. You have 8 freaking kids. but money doesn't matter to you. I know I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going to tell you what she's about to say, but she's going to say nope. And like she's going to make everybody believe, oh, no, I'm receiving no money for being on your show today and sharing this with you. This is how dumbed down you got to be to believe their story that they're selling you. Watch why she tells you this, sells you this lie right quick. Watch.
I don't need money. No money in this world could pay me to forget the pain that I'm going through.
No money in the world could pay me to forget the pain I'm going through. Like she's just so broken up that she had to do right. She's so wicked. She wanted to do what was wrong. She wanted to come in. She wanted to send a man to prison because her heart says, oh, Sabrina, she's feeling so bad. But the other jurors talked some sense into her knuckle-headed behind and said, hey, hold on. You got to go by the law. We're not here to go on our emotions. Just want to expose you how people that are wicked do not want to do right. And she's going to continuously say throughout this entire interview how she was forced to do right. Let's go.
Trayvon Martin will always be in my heart.
But
he's going to always be in your heart? You didn't even know the kid. How can you say some kid is going to be in your heart and you didn't even know him? It's ridiculous. But this is to play on the emotion of weak-minded people. And that's why they have Robin here playing along with it. It's ridiculous. This stuff is an insult to your intelligence, by the way. Let's go.
she wanted to talk about the verdict, how the jury reached it, and about what she sees as perhaps a higher justice.
At the end of the day, he's going to have a lot of questions and answers he has to deal with.
At the end of the day? Yeah, right. What kind of questions and answers? Should I have saved my life? Yes. Did I feel my life was in jeopardy? Yes. Would I do it again if somebody was beating me up? Yes. So what does he have to continuously contemplate? This is why I say our society is brainless. She makes absolutely no sense. And it is this type of rationale that's the problem. This type of dumbed down mentality where people don't use their brain. They allow people to hook them in with some song and then some violin. Yeah, feel sorry for me. Get the heck out of here. Use your brain, lady. Let's go.
The law couldn't prove it. We just have to believe in the Lord that if he has to pay, he will pay.
If he has to pay, he will pay. You're a freaking juror. It was your decision whether or not the man was guilty of the charge that he was charged with. And now you're here flaking on national TV talking about, I guess he's going to have to deal with it. What? Give me a break. You're pandering to ignorance. But you are ignorant. You're the embodiment of ignorance, of the people that believe this story, that continuously say, well, he just didn't deserve to die. He just didn't deserve to die. I don't give a damn what he did. He doesn't deserve to die. Same type of person that believes there's nothing wrong with the kid coming in through your window, breaking in. Oh, help yourself. Huh, want my purse? What else do you need? Society is brainless. Let's go.
Addie says putting her emotions aside and only considering the law was not easy.
Did I tell you that? Doing right is not easy for wicked people. Let me stop and let her tell you.
I stand by the decision because of the law. If I stand by the decision because of my heart, he would have been guilty.
She's admitting to you that she is ignorant. She's saying to you that if I believed all of the news stories, he's guilty. But if I look at the injuries, and if I listen to what John Good told me, and if I listen to what other people said, then I have to see that he's not guilty because he was defending his life. Never once during this whole entire time will you hear this lady say, I acquitted George Zimmerman because he was defending his life. That'd be too much like the right thing to do. That'd be too much like common sense, which is what they do not want you to have or to use in this case. Forget common sense. Come on. It's a kid here. This kid can do whatever he wants to do. He can bash your brains in. He can shoot you. He can stab you. He's a kid. Come on. He's just 17. As if 17-year-olds don't kill people. This is what she these are the kind of kids that she's raising. This is the problem, people. She's sending her 8 kids to your schools to beat your kids up, and when your kids get beat up, she's the parent that comes to the school and she argues with the teachers. And she says her kid shouldn't be suspended. He had every right to slam your kid and crack his skull. What's the problem? We got to weed this type of mentality out. It's destructive. It's totally destructive. It serves no productive purpose in society. We got to weed them out. Let's go.
A 36-year-old mother of 8 who calls herself a black Hispanic was the only minority on the jury. Since the verdict and the public backlash, she says she has been ridden with guilt.
I feel that I was forcibly included in Trayvon Martin's death.
Forcibly included in his death? Did you hear what this dumb lady said? That mean, if this is not a reason for people to flood the call center here at ABC News, I don't know what is. If this is not enough to make you say, hey, listen, this is an insult to our intelligence that this lady is saying this. She is a juror. She had an opportunity to review all of the facts, and she's saying this type of ignorant crap on TV? But it's just to fan the flames. They want to stir up dissension. They want everybody all angry, upset. Oh, no, I can't believe this lady was forced into this. Here's another thing, too. All people of color, all Israelites, stop calling yourself a minority. It's more of you than them, okay? That's just a fact. So stop doing that crap. But that's another reason, that's another way that the media puts you down, and you don't even realize it. You call yourself a minority. I'm a minority. You're ignorant. You're stupid. Go do your research. Go find out. But anyway, let's go. Let's keep going.
Shooting death of 17-year-old Trayvon Martin brought the issue of race in America back to the forefront.
Now, how did it bring the issue of race back to the forefront? Here you have a couple knuckleheads. Look at these knuckleheads. How does it bring it to the forefront? As long as you have this guy shooting this guy, what racism? What are you talking about? Can blacks be racist against other blacks? No. It's no way that that's possible. Could it be that they dislike each other and they kill each other at an alarming rate? No way. We got to make everybody believe that all of the white Hispanics, they're looking to come and shoot little 17-year-olds, little black kids. That's what we got to make everybody believe. That's what the point of this whole entire segment is. But let's keep going. Let's let them tell you.
After Zimmerman's acquittal, outrage ignited across the country. So how do you respond when you see people who are making this about race, who are saying, had Trayvon not been a young black man, that the conversation would be different?
Is it true? That's a question to be asked.
Come on. Give me a break. We have way more cases of young black males shooting, beating up people that are not blacks than the other way around. But she says to you, well, maybe we need to ask that question. Maybe they are under attack. Maybe this is so erroneous. This is pure bull. Pure bull. The media is spinning this thing around in a way in which they they know based on the facts that it is no way it could be true. If you have a white, Hispanic, or whatever your child is, if they are non-black, the chances of them being attacked by a black child, I mean, it's like 30-1 or something like that. It's like the statistics are off the chain, off the charts. You would not believe. But they want you to believe this. That's what this dumbed down mentality says, because the media has brainwashed her into believing this. And she's weak-minded. Let's go.
Even the president brought it up.
There are very few African American men in this country who haven't had the experience of being followed when they were shopping in a department store.
Yes, bull. There's very few African American men who haven't experienced being followed in a shopping mall. Well, I haven't. I've never been followed around in the mall. I've never been followed around in a store. Now, if I went into a store with a freaking hoodie on, then yeah, somebody is supposed to notice me. They're supposed to say, hey, that guy looks like he might be up to robbing this place. He looks a little risque. I don't know about him. He looks like a thug. I've never had to walk around in the mall with my pants hanging off my butt. Huh? I've never looked in a way that makes somebody be suspicious of me. So speak for yourself there. And he wants to act like he's been followed and he's been treated so bad in Hawaii and all. Give me a freaking break. Nobody pays attention to light-skinned guys. Let's be real, okay? Nobody freaking looks at certain types of guys that look like him, a square, and says, oh, you may break into my place. It's totally... Let's go.
That includes me.
Just like
That includes me. A bold-faced lie. But let's go.
Obama, I go to a lot of places and get people to follow me sometimes.
Trayvon.
She wants you to believe that people are following her and her 8 kids when she goes places. And here they go. They're lying behind. Let's watch what they say.
Martin's parents' reaction to the verdict echoes the feelings of many Americans.
I really didn't believe that he was not guilty.
That's a lie, Sabrina. You knew full well that your son had a problem with fighting too much. When he punches a bus driver and when he punches a student, a teacher at school, when he beats up a kid who snitched on him for selling weed at school, you were aware of his tendencies. So you were full aware that they were going to find George Zimmerman not guilty, which is why you and old Slick here decided not to show up for the reading of the verdict. Did you guys catch any flack for that? Heck no. The media pampered your behinds. Oh no, they had a reason for not being there. You stirred up all this crap, but you couldn't be there for the most important time when they were reading the verdict? Because you knew your goose was cooked. You knew there was no civil case there for you. You knew none of the other things that you had planned were going to go through. But you're still lying. You have no respect for this lady.
While George Zimmerman has remained silent, his parents spoke to ABC News, offering an apology.
Where's the attorney? Where is the attorney? I don't see one. Now, obviously, they know the law, okay? They are law-abiding people, but let's go.
To Trayvon's family.
We are deeply sorry for this tragedy.
But for Trayvon Martin's parents, Sabrina...
Now, they have apologized for this tragedy. But will you ever hear any one of these rascals apologize to George Zimmerman's parents for the inconveniences that they have been put through, for the death threats that they've received, for the inconveniences that they've caused, for stealing the 911 tape and saying that it was your son that was screaming and lying on their son? You think you're going to ever hear these rascals ever apologize? No. You know why? Because they're criminals. And their son was a criminal. This whole entire case is about people sticking up for criminals. not wanting to call things as they are. And everybody's mad because people followed the law and found that the man was not guilty. So now we got to have continuously interviews and people continuously spinning it and saying, oh, what if he had a chance? What if he was standing his ground? Get the freak out of here. This guy here knows the truth. This guy knows the truth. She knows the truth. He knows the truth too. The media is lying to you, folks.
Fulton and Tracy Martin, the fight for justice continues as they consider a civil suit.
It's not just about the Trayvon Martin case. Now it's about your kids.
It's not just about the Trayvon Martin case. No, it's about your kids. The goalpost keeps moving. She wants us to believe that your kids are in trouble. No, people like you, your kids are in trouble. They're in danger of somebody shooting them because you look the other way when they are behaving poorly. Instead of you putting them in a boys' ranch or putting them in military school, you continue to make excuses for them. You go down there and make sure that they don't get arrested. You make sure they get Baker acted. You keep going and covering up for them. So it's your type of children that are the problem. It's women like you that were raising him, that made him so wicked. And now you want to make other parents say, well, you know, your child might be in danger too. No. Your child is not in danger if he's not beating somebody up. Now, if we had a rash of white Hispanics that is all of a sudden just started going through neighborhoods and just shooting 16, 17-year-old kids, then it would be logical for us to say that this is about your kid too. But I don't dress my kids in hoodies. I wouldn't let my kids go around wearing saggy pants. I wouldn't let my kids have a freaking tattoo if he wasn't an adult. I wouldn't let my kid be holding a gun. I wouldn't allow my kid to get into the things that you allowed him to get into. So cut your bull.
It's about other kids.
2 days after the verdict, another juror, B29, spoke to Anderson Cooper on CNN.
I think both were responsible for the situation they had gotten themselves into. I think both of them could have walked away.
Are you seriously? George Zimmerman was responsible for the fact that Trayvon Martin was suspended and was walking around with a hoodie looking suspicious high on lean. Oh my goodness. They both could have walked away. Well, how do you walk away from something when somebody comes out of the blue and just swings on you and gets on top of you and start beating you up? How do you walk away from that, ma'am? Let's go.
There were some things that the other jurors said that you wanted to respond to.
B37 used the word we. I guess because we were in the jury together, she put it all as in the group.
Hold up. She put us all in the group. Hello? You have to render a decision as a group. Look at Robin. Robin knows she's boom boom. But she has to just grin through it. Just this lady's so stupid. But let's go. She's going to go on to say that she wanted to group us all together, and that was going to require me to say I was white. This is what she's going to say to you. And you have to be a pure knucklehead to just take her at face value. It's like so ignorant what she's about to imply. Let's go.
Where she made a lot of us sound was, we walk by color. And that's not what I do.
Now, what juror would ever tell you that we're going to make this decision and we're going to put on the paper that all of the people have now changed their nationality and now you're going to be white, Maddie, because we're white? This is what you have to... Your brain has to not be working to see clean through her wickedness of what she's attempting to imply. This is communication to dumb down folks. Folks are sitting at home, unemployed, no education, on welfare, stupid, dumbed down. This is what they feed on. They feed on this type of crap. Aha! I knew it. I knew it. I knew there was somebody like me in there. that was dumb like me. Let's go.
And that was something that a lot of people from the outside thought must have been a discussion in the deliberations about race, about color, but that.
Now, Robin, why the hell would people be talking about race as you are closing your eyes, getting ready to make up some bull crap? Why in the heck would some jurors be in the back deciding whether or not a man is going to spend 30 years in prison? Why would they be concerned about what the race of each other is? Well, do you hear what she's saying? Our society is brainless. Let's go.
Wasn't the case?
It was not the case.
In their first vote, B29
Why would it
told
be?
CNN 3 jurors wanted not guilty. 1 wanted murder, second degree, and 2 wanted manslaughter. What was your first vote?
My first vote was second-degree murder.
How did you go from, in 9 hours, from feeling he was guilty of second-degree murder to not guilty?
In between the 9 hours, it was hard. A lot of us had wanted to find something bad, something that we could connect to the law, because for myself, he's guilty.
For myself, he's guilty. Now, how can you say that he's guilty to you, but you rendered a verdict of not guilty? It had to be unanimous. If that's not the most hypocritical thing that somebody could say, I don't know what is. She says, I was looking for something bad. I was looking for something. But you had nothing. You had nothing but bad news for the crook that you wanted to take up for. You were trying to find some type of way to vindicate the crook. Oh, the crook had a right to beat him up. But the crook did not have a right to beat him up. The crook got what he had coming to him, which is what should happen to any young punk that decides to beat up on a grown man, or anybody for that matter. If he would have hit you, you had the right to pull out your gun and shoot him. But that would have been too much like the right thing to do. And you would have had to judge him in that moment, and wicked people hate judgment. But let's go.
Because the evidence shows he's guilty.
The evidence shows he's guilty. What the heck are you talking about, lady? He already admitted that he shot the kid. Moments later when the police arrived, hey, I shot him. It was self-defense. Don't you see me beat all up? Come on. She's acting like it's something that he shot him. What the heck? We already knew that. How does that make you a murderer if you shot somebody, if you were defending yourself? Let's go.
He's guilty of
Killing Trayvon Martin.
But you knew you were going to court for that. This is boom boom theater. That's what I have to start calling all these stories that I see. It's boom boom theater. That's what I'm gonna call it, because it's nothing but a bunch of lunacy, brainless people saying things that if you ever took the time to listen to what they're saying, their underlying message is just it's a pure insult to you. Let's go.
But as the law was read to me, if you have no proof that he killed them intentionally, you can't.
See? She's letting you know that as the law was read to me. Now, you got 8 kids, and you mean to tell me that you did not know anything about self-defense? You had no morals inside of your body that told you that, hey, if somebody's beating somebody else up, hey, they have the right to pull out their gun and shoot. Are you trying to tell me that you were that morally corrupt that you did not know that? You did not have logic? That was not reasonable to you? Once again, it's the mentality. I thought Trayvon had the right to beat him up. I thought Trayvon had the ability to knock him out and take his own gun and shoot him. I thought that's justice. I thought that's what should happen. Nobody should ever be able to shoot a black kid if he's in the process of beating you up. How dare you? Stop him. He has that right. It's pure foolishness, y'all. Pure foolishness. Let's go.
Fine, you can't say he's guilty.
What was going on in your mind, your heart?
I was a juror that was gonna give him the hung jury.
You're proud of that. After realizing all of the facts, after finding out all the things that you were not able to see, that they kept from you, like the true character and the activities of this kid, you still are coming on national TV saying that I was going to be the one that was going to go with my emotions to the end. I will go hang on to stupid street logic. I will go hang around to the ignorant logic that a child can do whatever they want to do, and you can't judge them. You just can't judge them because it's a child. I'd be embarrassed to admit that. But this is the problem. The wicked. They don't have any common sense. Let's go.
Oh, I fought to the end.
Do you have regrets that you didn't?
Kind of. I mean, I'm the only minority, and I felt like I let a lot of people down.
I felt like I let a lot of people down. A lot of people who weren't using their noodle. A lot of people who didn't have the facts that I had. I let them down because I did what I was supposed to do by law. They made me do right. They made me pass judgment. Oh, how did I do right? They forced me into it. This is what this lady is telling you, people. She's saying, I didn't want to do right. I didn't want to go by law. I wanted to go by my emotions. I wanted to go by theories and fairy tales and news reports. And my belief that kids are allowed to do whatever they want to do. They should never be judged. Let's go.
This polarizing case began in a gated community in Sanford, Florida. On February 26, 2012, Martin was walking.
This photo is fake. I want y'all to know that. This is Photoshop. This photo never, ever occurred. Okay? So I just want to expose that to you. To go online and take a look at the photo where he's looking to his right. That's what this is. This is taken from. So this whole entire face is fake. This whole entire face. Let's go.
Walking back to a house where he and his father were staying. He caught the attention of the self-appointed neighborhood watch.
The self-appointed neighborhood watch. As if like he just butted himself in. Hey, I'm going to take over. I want you to know something too. This shirt here, this shirt is not orange. This is photoshopped. I want you to understand that. Go take a look online. Go take a look at the shirt. Go take a look at down here. You see where my pointer is pointing you? Go take a look at this original picture online and you'll see. You'll say, no way. Just want to show you how they've been painting this story from the beginning to stir racial tensions. Let's go.
Captain George Zimmerman, who called police.
This guy looks like he's up to no good or he's on drugs or something.
They suggested he stay in his car.
Here's a lie. This is how the media spins things, and I'm glad she said that. They suggested that he stay in his car. Watch what the guy says.
Are you following him? Yeah. Okay, we don't need you to do that.
Okay. Now, where in there did he say, I need you to stay in your car? Don't move. I am ordering you to freeze. Get back in your vehicle. Did you hear any of that? If you did not hear any of that, that's what you call spin. And I've had tons and tons of people leave me comments and say all this other kind of crap on all over. And they say the same thing. He was told that he needed to stay in his car. He was told not to follow. He was told, stay put. That's a freaking lie. Let's go.
What happened next is in dispute, but there seems to be no question there was an altercation loud enough so that multiple neighbors called 911. And
It's in dispute. You had two eyewitnesses Yet the 13-year-old boy who walked up on him and his dog started running off when he saw that Trayvon Martin was on top of George Zimmerman, who they did not allow to testify because his mother did not want to cooperate. And then you had John Good, who was an eyewitness, who saw Trayvon Martin on top of George Zimmerman as George Zimmerman was attempting to get up, and he was screaming for help, and he was telling him to help me with the guy. This is how Trayvon got shot. Everybody wants you to believe, and everybody says, nobody knows what happened. Nobody will ever know. Hold on, two people saw what was going on. John tells you, hey, when I went and called the cops, I heard a shot. I went down to the window. The guy that was on top, he was now lying on the grass. And I think he was dead. So that's a lie. Also, how do you get these injuries? How do people explain these injuries then? How do you get that? How do you get this? How do you get that? How do you get this? How do you get these injuries? How do you get the bruise that's up here? How do you get that? Unless you had bashed your head up against the concrete. But that would be too much like the right thing to do to notice that. Okay? That would then be you passing judgment on Trayvon and saying, hey, maybe Trayvon wasn't innocent. Maybe Trayvon actually was beating him up. Wicked people don't want to do that. Let's go.
Issue: who was the attacker?
Who was the attacker? Once again, they want to ignore the facts and they want to play this tape here. Oh my God, someone could be shot. That's the takeaway from the fact that, hey, it was the guy that was on top that was beating up the other guy that got shot. Justified. They don't want to do that. They want to spin it around and confuse you and get you to think about, oh, poor Trayvon. No way. That little child. Let's go.
Zimmerman fired one gunshot and killed Trayvon Martin. Those 911 calls were believed to be crucial pieces of evidence. Whose voice did you think it was on the 911 call?
I have never really paid mind to.
The interview should have been over right there. Sorry, ma'am. You don't get your check today. Thanks for coming in. It was nice seeing you. Okay, have a great day. That's what should have happened when she answered in that way. She's telling you that she has had access to all of this information. She had hours to deliberate. She could have listened to this tape several times. And she's telling you that she's never really thought about who that was screaming on the 911 tape. You should not believe anything else that this lady Maddie says to you. I do believe that she is an actress. I believe that she's a part of the Sandy Hook acting family. Yes. I believe that she is planted. There is no way that you could say what you just said and we take you serious from here on out. That you had no opinion about the scream, because that would require you to pass judgment on Trayvon, because then you would be able to say, hey, 2 and 2 makes 4. Injuries, him screaming, maybe he was justified in pulling the trigger. But she's wicked. She doesn't want to admit that. She's so wicked that she's going to apologize for using good sense here in just a few minutes. Let's go.
Whose voice it was. Because the evidence shows that people's voices change when you're in extreme motion.
But that means that she doesn't have to take any of the testimony from the guy that tells you that he knew it was George Zimmerman screaming, the medic. And this guy here, they paid him to just talk in circles. He has all of this experience. He's the, president of all these voiceover and different voice analysis things and whatnot, but he's trying to tell you that he couldn't determine if it was George Zimmerman or Trayvon Martin. Total liar. He was a liar. I knew he was a liar the minute he started talking. But let's go.
The trial, the FBI's audio expert did testify that it is impossible to tell who was screaming for help.
That's a lie. That's a lie that the media tells you. To put doubt in the minds of foolish people to make you say, oh, maybe there's a possibility. I mean, I don't know, that might have been that boy screaming. Let's go.
During their 16 hours of deliberations, the consideration of a possible manslaughter verdict weighed heavily on Maddie.
When you all sent that note to the judge asking for an explanation on manslaughter, what was that about?
What we were trying to figure out was manslaughter. In order to be charged, we had to prove that when he left home, he said, I'm going to go kill Trayvon Martin.
Yeah, and you knew that that was protable. So you knew you couldn't go with that. You had enough common sense to know that that wasn't the case. Let's go.
Her own lawyer, David Chico, says even legal experts would have been confused.
And I've thought a lot about it, and I haven't really been able to come up with a...
This guy's full of crap. I thought about it, and I couldn't really come up with anything, that was close to manslaughter, No, what the truth is that you knew off rip when you heard all the information about the case. You knew that the prosecution had no chance of a conviction. You knew that it was a case that should have never been brought. You knew that, guy. But you want to act like, oh, I was kind of confused too. I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to make out. Don't buy this crap, people. This is all designed to emotionally pull at people that are not thinking.
Really another charge. I think manslaughter was a charge that could be put forth.
Maddie says she had no idea that the world was watching so closely.
Solidarity!
After the jury was released, she says she crumbled as the negative news reports about their verdict erupted.
I literally fell on my knees and I broke down. My husband was holding me. I was screaming and crying.
Are you serious? You broke down because people were protesting. You were screaming. Your husband had to console you. Oh, what did I do? I followed the law. And these people are mad at me because I followed the law. You gotta be a lame brain to believe her. Maddie, you don't make sense. You're not believable. Your story is not credible. You're a plant. You're an actress. Don't fall for their bull, people.
Right? And I kept saying to myself, I feel like I killed him.
I feel like I killed him. You see? I just have to chuckle. This stuff is hilarious of what they're attempting to do. This is a soap opera. Let's go.
And I feel that if they would put the law and a lot of people would read it, they would understand the choices that they gave us.
She says the choices she made, she still stands by today.
Where do we go from here?
My hope is that we stop walking around looking at color.
Wow! The knucklehead had an opportunity to muster up some common sense and said something profound. I wish people would stop looking at color. I wish these people would stop race baiting. I wish these race baiters and these races here would stop it. I wish that they would stop acting like everybody's out to kill black teens other than black teens themselves. Wow. She had her moment. A moment where it came to her. Amazing. Let's go.
Also seemed the hope of the devastated parents of Trayvon Martin, who have been giving a kind of master class in forgiveness.
We continue to pray that, that we'll find peace and strength to be forgiving parents.
What would you like to say to Trayvon's parents?
I would like to apologize because I feel like I let him down.
She's apologizing because she had to do what was right. She's apologizing because she had to pay attention to the facts and the evidence instead of going with the wicked. Isn't that a sad state of affairs, people? That our society is so brainless and wicked that they regret when they have to do what is right. They regret that they had to pass judgment, and their judgment vindicated a man who said, hey, the kid hit me. He had me on the ground. I had to shoot him. I felt like my life was in danger. He could have knocked me out, got my gun, and shot me with it. Let's go.
I didn't know how much importance I was into this case.
You're a freaking juror. And you knew everything. I didn't know how important I was to this case. And I feel like I let everybody else down. Because if black folks is ignorant, I gotta be ignorant with them too. They made me read. They made me follow the law. Oh, I'm sorry, black people. In the age of anti-intellectualism, she's apologizing because she used her brain. People are apologizing for making sense now. That's what's so sad about our society. People apologize for being smart. People apologize for being perceptive, for having common sense. Because we have leaders like Tracy Martin, Sabrina Fulton, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, Barack Obama, Ben Jealous. These are our leaders. That's the reason why everybody is like her. Dumbed down and wicked. Quick to follow the people that are evil and will not honor those that do right.